My dad, Arthur Kroetch, started Scotchman Industries, and he was born 15 miles north of Phillip. He went through the 8th grade, did not go to high school. When he hit a certain age, he was obviously went out and worked for other farmers and ranchers, and then he started his own business. He was the type of man that was always going to work for himself. And they made tens of thousands of these cattle oilers. They would take a piece of tube, pierce a bunch of holes in it, wrap it with burlap, and then he would fill it full of insecticide. And in the process, he purchased a hydraulic ironworker from a gentleman in 1966. He purchased a patent for this particular machine.
I'm thinking we had the neighborhood of maybe 12 employees, and they were all right here in the building right next to us here. It was very busy. In fact, we used to get a bonus from Art for every machine we sold, over 50 machines that we manufactured that month.
And my dad was involved with the company probably up to 1975. Then he decided he wanted to get into local state politics. So he hired a gentleman by the name of Adolf Erickson to run the company for him.
We were able to get into the foreign market that way. And Erickson was good at that part of it.
And it all came from this little Scottish guy wearing a kilt with a slogan that said, "Man, it's thrifty." And back in the mid-70s, after we purchased Excel Manufacturing, we decided that we no longer wanted to be little. So we dropped the word little and just became Scotchman Industries.
And then in '77, I set up our very first inventory control system, which was a fiasco because we never ever kept quantity stocks. We had no bill of materials, we had no part numbers.
It grew a little too fast.
We realized after the 80-81 recession that we needed to diversify and get out of just building ironworkers. And circular cold saw, which is a European technology, was perfect for us.
And where an ironworker punches the holes, we can't necessarily cut like tubing, round or square, on an ironworker without flattening it, where a cold saw fit right in, married right in.
Scotchman is the oldest and the largest American-made manufacturer of the hydraulic ironworkers, and we're also the largest American manufacturer of the circular cold saw. And in population 880, Phillip, South Dakota, to manufacture these products, it makes me proud to say that.
When you call in, you're going to talk to someone. It's not going to be automated voice message. And that's what's so great about it, because when you call in, you get to talk. There's a gal that answers the phone.
Art was the boss. He knew he was the boss, but he loved to go outside with the gravel truck and haul gravel, and as he got up in years, it seemed like even more he'd want to escape the actual office. What
he did was for his family, and he worked very hard for his family. And he worked very hard for God and for the community. Those were the three things that he talked about the most.
If it would not have been for Arthur and Eleanor, that fine arts center would not have been built. They came in with a sizable amount of money.
My dad wrote them a check for the balance that they needed, so we could have the fine arts building. So the community is strong, very important to us in a lot of different ways. And he was very happy when we stepped in and wanted to take over. It made him proud that we had some of the same values that he did, and there's no doubt today, I know he's smiling down on us.
When Art passed away, the employees bought the last machine that was built that day. We signed, everybody that was here signed the machine, and it's sitting up here.
Art was a very kind soul, but you worked hard for it. I remember many things about Art.
Even without Art being here physically, we know he's still here. And we're proud that we can offer a product that we know is made here in the United States, and with the quality and workmanship of our great employees that we have here, we're putting out one of the best products in the nation and maybe in the world.
Will we ever saturate the market with our products? And the answer is no, we never will. The hydraulic ironworker it will just go on for virtually forever.
I'm very happy with the way the company's going. We made it strong. I'm sure there's some things that could be done to make it better, but we are keeping on every year.
Living in a small town, it's very difficult to find the employees that you need to add another product. And when you add more product lines, you have to add more employees to build the products. And in a small town, it's just hard to find more people that want to come.
Now we have generations of families that have worked here. The dad worked here, and then the children, and so, you know, we've got a couple of families where there's 3 generations of people.
Yeah, I've been here going on 45 years, but I've got 2 son-in-laws, a grandson, and a granddaughter that work here.
Scotchman has been a part of my life since I was a kid. My dad has worked here for, I want to say, about 37 years now.
You go out in the market and people know Scotchman for the color of blue. It always has been. It's very recognizable. When you go into a factory, you see that blue machine sitting somewhere in the background.
The Scotchman Ironworker is the #1 ironworker, and it is here. We compete, but yet we've got the name that will follow the products.
My dad's comment that he used to make was, you know, I'm not a very smart man, but I was smart enough to hire the right people to do the job. And he said that over and over and over again. I don't think he gave himself enough credit on how smart he was.